Fools and Horses, Liberalist, the red colours trying to get into it as well. Down towards the final furlong they go, and it's Orchid Bloom over on the far side that now comes through to take it up. Reconsider Me battling hard, but it's Orchid Bloom now going on by 1.5 to 2 lengths and skipping away from them in the closing stages. Orchid Bloom, the further they go, the further she wins. Reconsider Me was second, Liberalist was third.
Is Kintaro from a long way back who is picking up. So they enter the final furlong now, and it is Modesty and Kevin Stott who have got the lead. Giving chase now King Sharjah with on the near side Feud, over on the far side Anyo Bonita, but it is Modesty on debut who is coming home to win. Modesty in front, Anyo Bonita in second. Close from some way back. Red Maids is passing fillies one by one and could still have a say in proceedings. Inside the final furlong they go. Lady Dreamer has the lead. Alexandretta down the outside. Red and Blue Candy on the inside, flattening out Red Maids now in fourth as they race up towards the line. Red and Blue Candy fighting back tenaciously on the inside. Red and Blue
Contention, and her Benita's going with her, and from the back Powdering getting going. Vetiver towards the near side just about hits the front, and her Bonita is scrapping away towards the far side. They're clear of Powdering, who's plodding on in third, but it's Vetiver in front as they go inside the final 200 yards, and Vetiver punched out will win for Andrew Balding and PJ MacDonald, and her Bonita for second. Powdering
Jacket in third, then Fools and Horses, Liberalist, the red colours trying to get into it as well. Down towards the final furlong they go, and it's Orchid Bloom over on the far side that now comes through to take it up. Reconsider Me battling hard, but it's Orchid Bloom now going on by 1.5 to 2 lengths and skipping away from them in the closing stages. Orchid Bloom.
So they're making their way to the start here at first. There's a shot of the back straight, and there is a shot of number 8 on the card. That is Tamir Girl for Richard Fahey and Oisin Orr. An encouraging enough debut. I know not running to a particularly high level, but showed a little bit. Didn't really step forward from that last time, though.
No, so she, as you said, she made a promising debut. She finished third at Newcastle and didn't quite back that up there last month. Both those starts were over 6 furlongs, so she's stepping up in trip today, which actually looks a positive based on her pedigree. She's a half-sister to History Writer and Blenheim Boy, who were both winners over a mile. So definitely a huge positive stepping up in trip, and she could even possibly step up again before the season's out.
Yeah, History Writer showed a good level of ability for David Menuisier, didn't he? And went very, very well on deep ground. I think they sent him over to France, and he won a good race over there. But he loved these kind of conditions, so maybe that could be a bit of spike.
Absolutely, that's the thing. It's, some of these, I know they've obviously had runs on the all-weather, but it's not always to suit those that want cut in the ground. So she's obviously going to be one to note today and kind of see how she handles the softer conditions. But based on her pedigree, it is a positive.
7 furlongs ahead of them here at Thirsk. Sometimes see, don't you, that it's one of those tracks because the start it's worse over the mile, but the start's right near the stable yard. You sometimes see a few of them just getting a little bit worked up, particularly inexperienced horses.
It's even when you're with the horses in the stable yard, it's quite noisy. You can hear them obviously loading up at the starting stalls, and you can obviously hear them gallop round. So it is a track that sometimes when you are over the stable yard, they can kind of get wound up. But so far, so good. They all seem to be behaving very well. And even the ones that are on debut, I thought that they were well behaved in the prelims. They all looked pretty straightforward as they went out onto the track, and they looked to go down to the start pretty good as well.
Okay, let's cover angles and kind of your top pick in those areas, I suppose. Overall standard of form, who do you think sets it, or who's got the best bit of form going into the race?
I'd say Liberalist is the one that sets the standard, and as I said, she's got a bit of decent pedigree there that shows she's obviously should be able to kind of build on what she showed last season this year. She did look fit going around the prelims, but I do think she'll come on for the run. I thought the one that looked the fittest of the two, considering they've ran against each other, would be Lucidity. She did look, she's obviously had a run on the all-weather already, and she did look fit and ready to go. So I am expecting Liberis to come on for the run, but hopefully a class might just kind of get her through it.
And you mentioned that they have run against each other, that pair. I thought Lucidity at the prices was of some each way interest, because first start she was very, very green. She's now got a run behind her, and she might just improve.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking as well. Even when they met, when Lucidity was on her debut, you could tell she was green, and she did a lot of good late work. And as I said, she's already had a run under her belt on the all-weather as well. And she's just one of those that seems to kind of be doing her best work at the end. So it could be one of those races where, as I said, race fitness could be key. I still quite liked, though, Classic Puzzle, and I thought she did look really well in the prelims, and she looked quite fit. I said Ollie Pears seems to have a good level on his novices so far this season, and I thought she's definitely one that I would have for an each way value. I think she's around about 7 to 1. Anjo Benita, I presume, will be the one that will look to take them on. She's always kind of been ridden quite prominently in the races. A final run, I think, was at York. She come up against what looked like an expensive and experienced horse of Freddie and Martin Meads, and I thought that was a really good performance by her. So they might utilise the fact that she obviously likes to be ridden forward, and she could easily hold them off. But I think Liberalist is the one with the best form for this. As long as she's fit, ready to go.
Yeah, we'll see how she fares. As you say, Anjo Benita has plenty of experience, and will look to make use of the fact that she's a little bit more experienced and battle-hardened than one or two of her rivals. A couple left to go forward then before the flat season gets underway. I think Classic Puzzle is going to be the last to load. Looked really well beforehand, as though she'd done plenty of work as well. Just going into a wider berth is Congruent under David Allen. Let's get up for the first time at Thirsk this season for the call with Darren Owen.
Good afternoon, Chris. Good afternoon, everybody. And we're looking at one of the newcomers, Classic Puzzle, going in. Classic Puzzle moves up for this, the visitracingtv.com Maiden Fillies Stakes. We're just waiting on Greek Siren to complete the lineup at the 7 furlong start. Greek Siren is in, set to go, and they're racing. And that was an awkward start for Here Be Good, rather disorganised start, really green in the early part of the race and detached by a few lengths. Meanwhile, Anjo Benita and Liberalist are forcing the early gallop, followed by Congruent, who's to the outside, not really getting the cover at present. Classic Puzzle is getting the cover, so too is Greek Siren in the brown silks as they edge towards the end of the back straight. Tame Girl is held up, and the last two are Lucidity and the slow-starting Here Be Good. Anjo Benita, the well-supported Anjo Benita, the leader, and leads by about a half length. Liberalist red colours is parked out, followed by Greek Siren in third. Congruent is next, and then comes Tame Girl halfway down the field from Classic Puzzle as they prepare now to enter the final half mile and the turn into the straight. Lucidity and Here Be Good are the last two to clock in, so down the straight, and it's Anjo Benita and Billy Garrity just about in front of Liberalist. Break then of about 2.5 lengths to Congruent, who comes under a ride. Classic Puzzle now steps forward in the mainly white colours for Graham Lee as they make the run now inside the final 2 furlongs. Anjo Benita's been headed by Liberalist, who may be under siege now from Classic Puzzle. On the wide outside, Lucidity's coming there with a run with a few lengths to find, though. They run down towards the last furlong. It is Liberalist and Classic Puzzle. Those two, they've kicked away from Anjo Benita. Liberalist just about in front from Classic Puzzle. They go to the finish. Liberalist being pestered all the way to the line by newcomer Classic Puzzle. It's close. Liberalist may take it. It's close, though. Liberalist and Classic Puzzle, and they were nicely clear of Anjo Benita.
Front two have pulled clear. It's gone up to the judge. It looked as though Liberalist on the far side had just got her head in front at the third time Vaskin. Here's the slow-mo over the line. Classic Puzzle, Dell was saying beforehand, was interesting each way against the standard setter on form on the far side, Liberalist, and it looks as though that standard setter has just managed to hang on, and that bit of experience maybe helping out, although to be honest I don't think Classic Puzzle was particularly in need of the experience.
No, I mean, she's done really well, hasn't she, on her debut, and she looked really straightforward throughout the race. But
Confirmed that Liberalist has won. Sorry, Dom.
I think I said Liberalist. I think her class has kind of got her through, and I do think she will come on for the run. You know, I still think there was a little bit of room for improvement. You can see she's still got a winter coat as well.
Yeah.
So once she starts to shed that and kind of, as we said, get a bit more sunshine on her back, I can only imagine she'll come forward to that. But you have to say, Classic Puzzle though has really kept her up to her work though, hasn't she? First time out. I said Ollie Pears, I think seems to have got quite a good level of form going for him with these novices horses, and they've obviously pulled well clear of the third place, which is Anjo Bonita, who was very much up there for the majority of the race, and maybe she's just got a little bit tired towards the closing stages, and obviously she was making her reappearance. We can see him at the start. This is Here Be Good, actually misses the break, was quite green, I suppose, wasn't she, leaving the stalls, and Lewis has had to kind of, really get after her, and probably does quite well to even kind of get on the tail of the race anyway. It's actually Anjo Bonita